Before you make your move to Casper, Wyoming, let's talk about some of the unique things that you have to consider when buying a home here. Let's dive into it. All right, number one, we have to talk about radon. Radon is a naturally occurring radioactive gas that is odorless, colorless, and tasteless. It is formed from the decay of uranium and radium, which are found in the soils in Wyoming. Radon can seep into buildings and homes and are especially concerning in basements. So when purchasing a home here in Casper, it's always a good idea to consider having a radon test performed, which will show if the radon levels in a home are safe. And if the test shows that they're elevated, you may want to consider having a radon mitigation or radon reduction system installed, which will go ahead and actually help add ventilation and depressurization to help move the gas away and out of the home.
Gas fumes, so what?
All right, number two. Before moving here, you have to know about our bentonite clay. So Casper has a lot of bentonite clay in the soil, and bentonite clay is an expansive soil that helps to retain moisture. In times of consistent rain or snow melt, bentonite will absorb the moisture and expand, and then in times of drought, the bentonite will contract. As you can imagine, this can take a toll on your home's foundation. So because we are an arid climate, Wyoming experiences wild swings of heavy snow in the winter and then oftentimes a bone dry summer. When purchasing a home here in Casper, it's always a good idea to have a home inspection done, and if the foundation gets flagged, it may even be worthwhile to have a structural engineer inspect the foundation to make sure that it is safe and sustainable. All right, number three. Homeowners here in Casper are responsible for sidewalk repair. Here in Casper, we have the Casper City Ordinance 12.08.017 that states that the property owner's responsibility is to maintain the sidewalks, curbs, and gutters adjoining any street. Now, even though homeowners don't own those sidewalks, curbs, or gutters, it is still the homeowner's responsibility to keep them functional and safe for the public. So the code goes into further detail as to what the criteria is for needing to maintain the sidewalks, but in short, any abrupt change to the sidewalk, curb, or gutter is the homeowner's responsibility out here in Casper.
How's that my problem, amiga?
All right, number four, south-facing driveways. So you've heard the term location, location, location.
3 words, sister. Location, location, location.
Well, that couldn't be more true here in Casper in terms of the orientation of your home and what direction your driveway faces. When looking for your home in Casper, it would be ideal to find a home with a south-facing driveway.
But why?
Why, you ask? Well, a south-facing home and driveway will receive the most amount of sunlight, which will not only help to melt the snow off your driveway in the winter, but it can also help allow natural light to be brought into your home, creating a warming effect. Obviously, this can create the opposite in the summertime. Drawing in more light can mean that it may take more energy to cool your home, but in general, having a south-facing driveway is most preferable in Casper. All right, and the fifth and final thing that is unique that you have to be aware of when purchasing a home in Casper is that we are a table or wet fund state. So coming from California, I had no idea what the difference was between purchasing property in a wet fund versus dry fund state. I would probably have never known had I continued to live in California, but because California is a dry fund state, whereas Wyoming is a wet fund state, I had to learn the difference. So what exactly does that mean? Well, when you purchase property in a wet fund state, that means that the lender is supposed to have the funds available immediately at the time the loan documents are signed or at the closing table. This requires all loan conditions to be satisfied prior to signing loan docs, and funding dates are to be set and solid before the loan documents are even drawn up. In dry fund states, however, though, like California, the loan is not immediately available to fund after the borrowers sign their loan documents. The funding package, which consists of obviously your loan documents and your escrow instructions, has to actually go through a separate funder in a dry fund state to be reviewed after everything has been signed to ensure that the loan conditions were properly satisfied. The loan can only be funded in a dry fund state after the lender has given the green light and after that review process has been completed. So this process can sometimes take days to complete. Obviously, this isn't ideal for sellers because they may not walk away with the check at the closing table like they would have hoped. So Wyoming is a wet fund state, which means that everybody is able to walk away from the closing table with smiles on their faces, checks in hand.
That should keep everybody happy.
And we can know that the transaction has completed and it is officially closed. And obviously, this just gives buyers and sellers peace of mind. So there you have it, folks. These are the 5 things that you need to be aware of when buying a home in Casper. But as always, if you have any other questions about moving here or living in Casper, please don't hesitate to call, text, or email me. I would love to help you in making your next move. We'll see you in the next one.